This is Temagami, a vast expanse of wilderness in the heart of northern Ontario. Pristine lakes and rushing rivers are surrounded by towering cliffs and old-growth forests. Here, native peoples have lived off the land for centuries. Regarded as the world's third busiest canoe destination, Temagami offers thousands of kilometers of canoeing, as well as hundreds of backcountry campsites. One can spend weeks and even months exploring this vast wilderness destination. We've embarked on a short 4-day loop that takes us through Obabika Lake, down the Obabika River Provincial Park, and down through Wakimika Lake.
But before we could paddle Temagami's tranquil waters, we faced the daunting task of driving on rugged logging roads to reach our access point. Our chosen access point was located 12 kilometers north of the terminus for Highway 805, which was essentially only a gravel road through the bush. Where Highway 805 ended, the Goulard logging road began. This road is in a poor state of repair, littered with potholes, rocks, washouts, and steep sections. Vehicles with high ground clearance are recommended, though a standard sedan or van can make the journey, but have patience and take your time, as it took almost 2 hours for us to cover this section. But once you reach your access point, you may still encounter delays. Strong winds can whip up waves and leave canoeists windbound, especially on the bigger lakes. Navigation through the winds may require staying close to shore and some careful maneuvering to ensure one does not capsize.
Oh shit, that was a big wave. I think if we get around this point, then we can ride with the waves.
Intense summer storms may also appear in only a matter of minutes, turning a once calm lake into a raging torrent of wind and wave. These storms can sometimes bring about damaging hail, intense lightning, and torrential rains, making it difficult to set up an emergency camp.
Alright, this just goes to show you how quickly the weather up here can change. You gotta kind of be prepared for anything. I mean, half hour ago it was bright and sunny day. Now we got this big storm system moving in. Had to make a little emergency stop on this makeshift site here. But I mean, the moment you see lightning and thunder in the distance, it's almost too soon. It comes up on you really fast and faster than you think. It's coming.
But the skies will soon clear, revealing magnificent sunsets and the solitude of a quiet evening on a northern lake whose waters shimmer like stained glass in the fading light. Apart from breathtaking campsites, Temagami also offers the canoeist countless opportunities for day hikes. As many of the trailheads are water access only, they present excellent remote treks through the Temagami landscape. Here, trails take one to spectacular hilltop lookouts, or wind their way through pristine old-growth forests teeming with life.
The area surrounding me here makes up the world's largest remaining stand of old-growth red and white pine forest. And this is one of the main reasons that the Temagami groups at Park were formed, to protect this area. We've taken the Wakimika Triangle trail, which winds its way through this special forest ecosystem.
This area was slated for logging in 1989, and was protected largely as a result of a blockade on Red Squirrel Road, in which 344 protesters were arrested. The area is of much spiritual significance to the Temagami and Anishinaabe people, and is an ecological gem. The towering pines of this forest have been estimated at over 375 years of age, yet a great diversity of age classes and species are present. Old-growth forests have recently been the subject of many research efforts throughout North America, yet very little is known about the functions and processes within these complex ecosystems. As Temagami contains many sporadic old-growth forests, not all stands have been identified, and those that have are possibly unprotected or slated for logging and resource extraction. As these forests become increasingly rare, it is essential that we protect them, or we will lose these ecosystems forever.
The Obabika River meanders through the heart of Temagami's vast wilderness. Right now, we're on the section from Obabika Lake to the Sturgeon River. This section of the river is generally fast-flowing with a lot of sharp turns and narrow sections of the river. There's only a few little rapids and dams to obstruct any flow, and there's only short portages to get around these obstructions. But generally, it's a very scenic river, dominated by jack pine and spruce on the shoreline. Good opportunity to see wildlife. In fact, just yesterday we saw 3 beavers. Now, due to the meandering nature of this river, you're going to want to allow for twice the amount of time that it would normally take you to cover X amount of kilometers. Get a good early start to the day. Plan well ahead for any delays that might slow you up. But you're going to want to spend a lot of time exploring the river, maybe try some fishing and looking at the wildlife and the great stunning scenery around.
On the river could look nice.
To get into Wakimika Lake, we had to come up through Wakimika Creek, which is nothing more than a very small, shallow creek that winds its way through the terrain. There's a lot of downed logs and sandbars, and most of the time you might be doing some walking or fighting the current a lot. Allow for 1 to 2 hours to do this, because even though it's 2 kilometers, it's going to take a long time to navigate that small little creek.
But after all the slogging on Wakimika Creek, we arrived at beautiful Wakimika Lake. As the last lake of the trip, we were rewarded with the stunning scenery of rocky knolls, cobbled beaches, and towering pines. Excellent campsites can be found on the southern shore, and it's worth it to stop here for the night. This would be the conclusion of our journey through Temagami, a true wilderness that every canoeist should venture to and explore.